What's happening, guys? John here. I got my Dragon Ball Z over 9000 hat on, my Tokyo Ghoul shirt, and we're here to bring you another video. I think you're gonna like it.
Oh yeah, I couldn't agree more. I like the apparel, my man.
Thank you. I try.
Oh yeah, I don't think I got the memo today.
No, not everybody can be amazing with a capital A.
No, maybe someday.
Baby steps. Climb the ladder. What's that game? Shoots and ladders, snakes
yeah.
and ladders, something along those lines.
It's
Climb
long
a couple,
story
fall a
short.
couple.
I wasn't good at that game, but
Well, it shows.
I don't think I don't think we're here to talk about that. But
No.
I think we'll just get started with what we're actually going to talk about, and that's our top 5 Halloween anime. And I'll start us off with number 5, and that's Kabanari of the Iron Fortress. Essentially, the story takes place in the Revolutionary Era, and it follows these two characters, Ikuma and Mume. Essentially, they're Kabanari, half human, half zombies, and they get fostered into this group who's trying to survive the massive hordes of Kabane. And I'm trying to think who my favorite character was. It was such a short anime.
Yeah, what happened with that? Honestly, I mean, it was people hyped it up so much. It's better than Attack on Titan. It's the next Attack on Titan, next biggest thing, and it's been about a year and a half, and now you don't hear about it all. You haven't heard if there's the new season's coming out. What's gonna happen with it? Nobody talks about it anymore. It's like it just died.
Yeah, essentially, just
Nothing. It goes.
It's off the map.
Yeah, no one talks about it. It's crazy.
I thought it had a lot of good potential with character development.
Oh
but,
yeah. Oh definitely.
But yeah, I mean, I'd probably say Mume. She's an assistant protagonist, and I'd say she's probably my favorite character. She's not your typical girl because she's a Kabanari, and she's pretty badass. She's pretty much seen as a bodyguard of the whole train, and she can take on hordes of Kabanes.
That's awesome. What was your favorite part of the series?
Favorite part of the series? Probably the last episode where Ikuma is fighting Mume's brother, and then has to save her at the end of the show.
Sounds like, yeah, that's an intense scene. That was.
Yeah,
intense.
I don't want to say.
Like
I don't want to say.
Don't want to spoil it. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Why would you recommend this anime, and why did we put it in our top 5 for our Halloween, our top 5 from the Halloween anime?
Well, I mean, if zombies doesn't say Halloween, I don't know what does.
True.
And it has such a good story development for only being 12 episodes.
It's kind of got that spooky vibe to it too.
Yeah,
too. That dark, that very dark, but it's like the orange color Kabanari. It's always dark. It seems like it's always dark when things attack. Kind of like spooky, eerie feel to it.
Like there's a glim chance of survival, but
Right.
Make it happen.
Right. But we're on to number 4, and that's Helsing, guys. And what Helsing is, I'm sure most of you know already. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. It's a classic. It follows the story of Alucard and Victoria, who's also known as Police Girl. What basically happens in that is she is a police officer at the beginning of the series, and ends up meeting a ghoul and is badly injured, and Alucard bites her and turns her into a vampire, thus introducing us to the Helsing organization, who is founded by Alexander Van Helsing. They work for this organization. Basically, what this organization does is it just takes care of anything that goes bump in the night, and quite aggressively. You won't be seeing it anymore. If the Helsing organization is on it, let me tell you, they will get rid of it. It's definitely one of my favorite Halloween animes, just because of the vibe. Who doesn't like that vampire ghoul? Very dark, ominous. Same thing kind of as Kabanari, just I think a little bit more scary, a little bit more dark feel to it. I'd have to say my favorite character is Alucard. I gotta go with it. He's just so quiet but yet badass. Like, you don't want to be on that guy's bad side. You don't. Why I would recommend this and why we put it at our 4th on our list is because it's a classic, for one. I think everybody should have it in their mental anime watch list.
I couldn't agree more. Isn't it? It's an older anime too, isn't it?
Yeah.
So.
Helsing is older. Ultimate was the more true to the manga. A lot of people don't like the original Helsing just because it's straight from the manga. It doesn't bother me as much as it bothers most people. I like them both, But if older style graphics aren't your thing, Ultimate's definitely the way to go. Just one of the Helsings, definitely. You gotta watch them. Gotta watch them. Give it a chance.
Oh yeah, I mean, it seems like you get the best of both worlds, whether it's following the manga or kind of just.
Yeah, I always like a little off spin. I know a lot of people don't like that. Some hardcore manga fans. I'm sorry if I upset you, but I do like a little bit difference in the manga. I am one of those people who tends to like filler a little bit.
I couldn't agree with you more.
All right, and without further ado, I think we're gonna head to number 3, and Luis will be talking about that one.
So for number 3, I decided to put Soul Eater on there, and
what would a top 5 be without Soul Eater? We wouldn't have a top 5 Halloween.
Oh yeah,
Soul
exactly.
It wouldn't be a top 5 list.
Exactly. I mean, there's pumpkins and buildings and
right. It screams Halloween. It's Halloween world.
Exactly, pretty much. But this is definitely an anime you guys have to check out. And essentially, this story follows 3 duos, but I'm gonna focus on Maka and Soul, which is who's predominantly focused on throughout the story. And essentially, throughout the story, the whole goal is to become a death scythe, and essentially have to not control.
I think it's they have to get a certain amount of souls.
Yeah.
I think it's 99.
Yeah, it's like 99 Kishin eggs or something.
Yeah, and then you have to do like a witch's soul. You have to have a witch soul, and then there's one more I'm missing out on there. But you definitely have to collect a certain amount of human, and then witch, and then there's one more, and then you can you cheat the death scythe. I know that much.
And yeah, but that's the whole goal.
Just shows you how big of a challenge it is to get that to get to that level.
Oh yeah, exactly. But I think I would say my favorite character of Soul Eater would be Death Lord, or Lord. Is it Lord Death? I think it's Lord Death.
Okay.
But I'd say he's my favorite character because he's a funny guy. He's pretty eccentric.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's got
humor.
Yeah. I mean, he's a little perverted too at times. But I mean, what are
you gonna do about it, man?
Yeah.
It's him.
Yeah, exactly. But
Dude's gotta be a dude.
yeah, but he's got the serious side to him where he can just lay the hand down and essentially just put people where they need to go.
Yeah.
And give orders and do stuff.
I definitely agree. Why would you recommend Soul Eater to somebody?
I mean,
Why did it make top 3 in our list?
I would say top 3 because I mean they're hunting witches, they're hunting demons, and it's got some comedy.
I totally agree. It's like we said, it's just it's like a Halloween world. It's like a snow globe, Halloween snow globe. I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but it's very it is Halloween. It embodies Halloween, in my opinion. I know there is a continuation. I don't know if you've heard of Soul Eater or not.
I haven't heard.
I haven't watched or read the manga for it. I've heard bad things about it. I'll definitely probably check it out. But besides that, I think that's all we're gonna get a Soul Eater. So
yeah, I think so. Exactly.
I don't think they're doing any more spin-offs or anything. Yeah, with the series. So I think that's over.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to check out more of it, you probably have to read the mangas. But
yeah. For our top 2, our final 2, what made number 2? And these 2 were a very hard decision for us. Was Seraph of the End comes in at number 2. I love this anime, not only because it's Halloween, it is one of my favorite animes. Definitely makes my top 5 anime of all time. This story follows Yuichiro and Mikaela, 2 orphans that are an orphanage and created a family basically together. They have a bunch of kids with them and a couple of older kids their age. But what ends up happening in the human world is the vampires come over from what is the vampire world. 2 separate worlds, only could be entered through by portal. And they unleash a disease on the human world, but it only kills adults and older teenagers, which is crazy, so it just leaves the kids. And the vampires took advantage of this and took all the kids over to use them as blood slaves. And the kids who wouldn't comply were either killed, hurt, starved. I mean, they were just in terrible conditions. So Yuichiro and Mikaela, or Yu is short for his name, that they generally call him Yu, found a way to escape from this vampire world until it goes terribly wrong. And all of his family is killed except for him. Now there is a twist to the story. I don't want to give it away for those who haven't seen it, but Yu does get out and he's just so infuriated and hungry for revenge that he joins the Japanese demon army, the Imperial Army, and eventually becomes a part of what's called the Moon Demon Tribe, one of the highest prestige ranks you can get in the Japanese demon army. but I don't want to spoil anymore. I definitely have to say my favorite character is Yuichiro. Just because he is so selfless and he will go out of his way to do anything for his family, risk his life, and to keep them safe. Just cares more about other people than he does himself.
Yeah, he's a pretty selfless character.
Oh, definitely. Everybody else means the world to him. The last person he thinks about is
he's
himself.
putting his life on the line. And every fight scene.
100%. Oh yeah, 100%. My favorite scene, I plead the fifth on because it's really cool and it's in the middle of the series and it will spoil a lot. It's when he gets his weapon, his demon weapon, and as much as I want to say more than that, I don't want to say any more than that. I don't want to do spoilers. But like I was saying, why I would recommend this anime and why it made second on our list for Halloween. Not only does it have the vampire, demon, feel to it. I mean, it's also just one of the best animes I've ever personally seen. Had the pleasure of watching. I enjoy it, and I think everybody should give it a chance. I mean, it'll hook you. First, if not the first episode, second episode for sure.
Probably.
I mean, even though there's not as much action as you'd like in the first couple of scenes, it's just the sheer story and the sadness of what happens and what a heartache it is. And for our number one seed, it was tough. It was a jockey between Seraph of the End and Tokyo Ghoul. I think we made the right decision.
It was.
I definitely think Tokyo Ghoul is number one on the list for me. For those who haven't seen Tokyo Ghoul or haven't heard of Tokyo Ghoul, which is very unlikely, this story follows a young man named Kaneki. He's a bookworm, very standoffish, very shy. He finally gets the courage to talk to this girl named Rize, who he thinks is a girl, but Rize is actually a ghoul, one of the most deadly ghouls that is around at the time. And when he's walking her home from their first date, she ends up trying to eat him and badly maims him, almost killing him. But then a freak accident happens.
I know, dude.
And she gets killed.
Spontaneous.
Spontaneous. Yeah. What kind of luck is it when a pillar, a beam falls on her and kills her? But the problem there was Kaneki could not survive without her body parts. So what they ended up having to do is, if they wanted to save him, they had to take Rize's body parts from her ghoul body and combine them with Kaneki's human body, which then in turn made a half ghoul, half human. So it's kind of an outcast at first in the series, but eventually it all works out. I'd have to say my favorite character at the beginning was Toka, but as the story goes on and Kaneki grows some cojones, I really love the character development with Kaneki. I love what they did with him. It was super awesome, great character development, just a crazy change through a 12-episode series. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, he definitely matures a lot.
Oh yeah, he changes so much. Don't even recognize him.
Yeah.
Don't even recognize him. My favorite scene would have to definitely be when he first realizes his power, and he doesn't really realize it. He uses it to save his friend Hide from, I'm trying to remember the name. What's his name? Orange hair. Nishiki. I'm sorry,
okay.
Nishiki. Yeah, Nishiki. And he ends up just destroying Nishiki to save his friend Hide from being killed. And I just thought that was a super cool turning point in the story that really made it interesting. Why we chose this anime for number one on our Halloween top 10 list is it's very ominous, fits the build of Halloween, very ominous, kind of, just very almost just depressing feel to it at first.
Yeah.
I'm very, tailored back, tons of gore. I mean, if this doesn't satisfy your thirst for blood and gore, I don't know what will. Tons of just people being torn apart, just gruesome scenes, very, very gruesome. And I mean, honestly, another one, even though it's in my top 5 Halloween anime, it's also in my top 5 anime I've seen of all time. Definitely in my top 5 of that, and I would suggest watching it regardless if it's Halloween or not. If you haven't seen it, it's a great show.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. Hope to see you in the next one. The future videos for the channel, we'll be doing that huge unboxing in the future. That one's gonna be way down the road. We'll be doing a top 10 or a top 5 summer anime. It might have honorable mentions. It'll either be a top 10 with no honorable mentions, or it'll be a top 5. Let us know in the comments if you guys would rather have a top 10 or you think top 5 is a good number.
Any suggestions on it too? Yeah.
And then we'll also be doing anime we're watching this season, this fall season. So what we're watching right now, me and Louise, and what we think is worth watching and keeping up with. And then we will be doing kind of a side note video. It's a cool little project me and my girlfriend are doing. We're making a little kind of our own anime lamp. It's I know it sounds weird. It's gonna be really cool though. We kind of did a somewhat of a walkthrough, best we could. We didn't have anybody there to film, so we kind of just filmed the process of it, and we're excited to show you that too. So stay tuned, and hopefully see you in the next video, guys.
Alrighty, thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching.